Alright, now I have to read the instructions for this, but that's how you trace. So, do you see the lines?
Oh yeah, I see that.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright, so now what I'm going to do is unpin this one right here and right here. Okay. And so this way you can fold it back like this and cut this half of it and then fold it this way and cut this part of it. Okay?
Okay.
There you go. So, why don't you come cut? So, now we're going to take and pin the bias strips all along the edge. And so that's why I got the black for. So you pin this all the way around.
Have to have some form of actual bands underneath the chest for that. Yeah.
And then
See what you can find.
I love the wonderful little blind stitch foot, but we can still do it on a regular serger machine. We just have to be a little bit more careful. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be the finished result, is a little teeny tiny mock band at the bottom. It'll be a cuff at the bottom of our leggings here. So you fold it back. This is a nice set of leggings. You fold it back about 1.25 inches. And then what I'm going to do, I folded it back all the way on both sides. And so I'm going to fold it back down about 1 inch, all the way around. So I'll have a little bit of my seam allowance, my 1/4 inch seam allowance sticking out on both sides. And I'm going to come over here, I'm going to grab one of these wonderful little clips. My wonderful handy dandy assistant is going to clip it on this side. At least 2, maybe one right next to my fingers would be good on each side.
Beverly, can I have the clips?
I was moving tables and you get them plugged in.
Right over
So you're
here.
doing
This
the
is
first time 1 inch?
the first time is about 1.25 inches, and I will come over. The first time you're doing this, it's good to have a helper.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do on the back side is it's a little bit wonky over here, so I'm going to make sure it's just kind of rolled out and it lays nice and flat. So, and then you can just pin that right about where my ring finger is. And we'll come over here and make sure that that other side is good. The key is you want to have a 1/4 inch all the way around here at the edge. Yep. And we're going to clip it here, but once we put it underneath the serger, it'll lay flat and it'll be easy to cut off. Okay. Okay, so that we've got it all pinned. I've found with the serger machine, sometimes they have it where you can take this out and it's a sleeve, so you can do armholes and sleeves and such. But I found out it's easier to take things up high and run it just above the serger machine. So what we're going to do is, at this point, you can go ahead and use the finger on your blind hem foot, on the blind stitch foot. What I like to do, we can start it, so that way I'm just going to take a notch in. Apparently, these are dull. So what I'm doing is, you know how we've got that cutting blade that's always running, and this puts it right where it needs to be. So when we come all the way around, when we come all the way back to the end, we know where we started from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push up here, and we're going to slide it right underneath. So this little flap should be here in front of the knife. And so I'm going to slide the other part back to where... Is that it? Okay. So where we put the notch in, that's where I want my needle to go right down. And then it is, yours are in a different spot, but you're okay. So we've got cut it out up to the point where our little knife is going to start coming in.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that this left needle comes in and takes a little teeny tiny bite right on the edge here. Our right needle stays over here in the seam allowance, because we want this blade to come down and cut it right here at the edge. So we go slow, steady. Knits love slow. I know you can do fast with the serger, so easy, but as best as you can, just try and go slow, so that way you don't have like a really thin spot. You don't want wavy seams. But Leah has done a great job, so she's got some great tension here already. So all of her seams lay flat. Decide which way you want your seams to go. And I'm just going to use the hand control to just get started and make sure everything, and I'm going to make sure that all this little end over here, all of our great little threads are going to hang off, and they will get cut off in the process. And I'm going to slide this right over here. Okay. So can everybody see that so far? All right. And then I'm going to find the foot control. And with this process, I definitely like to make sure that I can help guide it through the back side. So I'm going to make sure that my left hand's back here. You can grab the chain to get it started, but there's enough fabric back here that I can get a hold of. And so we're just going to go slow. And as the best I can, I'm trying to make sure that the left needle's in and the right needle is not. But the cool thing with the blind stitch foot is that it just has that little bit of thumb, and it holds that fold back, so it's easier to just run faster.
So that right needle is not on the material.
It's in that single layer of your seam allowance. But the left needle is going through your fold and your seam allowance. So we're going to clip this. I'm going to make sure that that seam allowance lays flat, and it's like right over here at the edge. Sometimes there's these little teeth marks. This is your left needle. This is your right needle over here. So my hand's back here. And so you can kind of see, if I want to run this kind of between these two little teeth marks. And you just go slow.
And that's with the 4 thread.
It's with the 4 threads. It's easier if you have the 3 threads, but this is a quick set of leggings, and we just want to get it done so we can and go on and have lounge pants so we can start lounging.
And maybe just then the left needle is not, the right needle is not hidden nothing but nothing.
Nope, it should be there to just hold the upper and the lower looper threads together. It just helps everything stay really happy.
So is the thread in the right needle or no?
The thread is in the right needle.
Yeah, it's in the right.
So we're coming around to the beginning, and so we'll just stitch right over this. Okay, and so we've finished this. Over here, Beverly, we've changed the foot out on yours. Have you changed the foot out again on yours? Okay.
No, you just tuck it off, you stick it in
Okay.
back. And
This is the same concept.
I think it's the same.
So
really.
you lift up the presser foot. Ours is on the other side. It's that big white paddle. And then you hit this little button on the back. Ours is black on the Brother, but it's white here on the Janome. And I like to slide it out to the side. Okay, so then we want to match up this blind stitch foot. There's a little bar here that we're just going to line down. Notice on some machines, on the Janome, it comes straight down when you lower the presser foot. But over here on the Janome, it comes down at an angle. So you can line it up here. And keep in mind, you've got your presser foot lever. You can push it up to overextend it up to slide stuff in and out. So if I put it here, it's not going to quite come down and get it. But we're going to move it forward just a smidge. And when we lower it down, if I have good eye-hand coordination, it should come down here and snap in. Ta-da! And if it doesn't snap in, sometimes it just sits on top, then hit the little tab on the back and it'll just fall into place. So you can double check that you've got it, lift it back up, and make sure the presser foot gets pegged. So it's probably beneficial from this side, Marilyn, to come in. You got to get it under this little spring arm. That's usually not a problem. Make your threads, sure your threads go to the back. Okay. And this, I do lift it up just a little bit so it stays in place. Or so it's easier to slide it. It gives you more space to work. And then just lower it down. And so, see, it's just sitting on the pin that's there. But if I hit this little button on the back, it's going to pop right down into place. And you can verify that it's stuck.
It's almost like a little magnet.
It is, but you're just letting grab. Visually, you know where your stopping point is. Because that's what this finished seam is going to be. It'll be just a little bit, and then it'll lay flat. So this little notch here is where the needle is. You can see the fabric curving up back here. And so we're just going to slide it back that way. And then this will hold it in place. And we're going to lower this down. Ta-da!
Oh, I see.
Okay, so this little finger down here, or thumb, holds the fold back. And so I can make sure that my seam allowance is in place. I can pull out this extra little thread. And since it's kind of a silky knit and it slides around, I'm going to leave this clip in until I absolutely have to take it out. So I absolutely have to take it out now. So I put it back over there in my clippy pile. Those are awesome clips. Great for kids, great for adults. I think it makes actually sewing a whole lot easier. But I love it with the serger because they get pushed out of the way. And then we'll take the next one out and we just keep finishing it. That's it. Leah, I should let you do this.
That does make it easy.
It does. But that's not to say that you couldn't do it on the other one. It just holds it in place. This is great for doing cording, where you want to add a cord but add it back. It just helps keep things straighter.
I love it.
It is. I really love this foot. If it hadn't come with the Brother 1034, I would have bought it. So yes, this was one of my top 3 feet. Actually, that was my first foot that I recommended to Leah. So here we're coming back to the beginning. We just keep going. And the best way to take your thread out is where you lift up the presser foot. You want to take 2 more stitches, and then you should be able to get your fabric straight out, released from the machine. There's still some thread on the stitch finger back there, but go ahead and run the machine so you get your thread tail and then clip it, and then you'll be good. And then we'll stay on. And then there's the ta-da! Ta-da!
It looks just like the other one.
It is. It should match. So, ta-da!
Just turn it down. Got it?
And I'm matching it up this point here.
So there. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
And that's it. Yeah.
Is that it? The same length.
Yeah, the inch
Roughly.
apart.
Yes. And so we're just going to stitch straight down. I love your machine, Leah. It is. You need to be doing this instead of the recording. All right, I'm going to take the Wonderful Wonder clips out. And then just keep on going. And so I'm guiding it right here at the edge of the metal foot. And then you can see where the needle is. The stitch is pulling it in a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch. And we just go all the way down, straight side. Straight all the way through. And then when you have it there and you fold it back, ta-da! That's it. So it's the rolled edge.
Okay.
Or you can fold it the other way, and it has a slightly different look.
Okay.
Okay, just a couple of drops.
There's no one to go.
This is like a whole lifetime supply of oil.
Here's it right there.
Okay, and then use your hand control to move it a couple of times, and it'll help.
No, I just saw it, and it's pretty.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty to me.
Oh, yeah, that's, I was using it because the lady came in and needed some help trying to get her machine adjusted, and so she had to go see the mechanic.
Can you do it more?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's why it sold out so fast.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And just put it in there, but now I can't get it back. Oh, there it is.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're making like a spaghetti strap. We're putting it in the middle. We got a long tail. We're folding it over and keeping the little tail all in the middle, right here along the soft edge, the soft fold. And we're just going to put it under and go. And I'm slowly pulling this out just a little bit.
You did it?
Almost, we're almost there. Okay. All right, so we'll trim this one. And then nudge it. Pull it.
Where's my $2?
Your $2.
Oh, wait, this is my $2 list.
No, I've got another idea for that. And ta-da. 2 ends. Twist it around twice. And then come back. twist around once, twice, and then make a knot. And it's okay if you've got legs or tails left, and then it should go straight through.